Yeah, what's up? It's your boy JFK, man. We're back in the building today, man. Good to see everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, if you're here, let me know you're here. Just put in your information over there. Give me a comment. Give me some info. How's everybody doing? It's an interesting thing I'm doing. I'm trying to look at changing my time so we can see if it's better for some people. Still work in progress, but either way, I'm glad you're here. If you're here, my people, let me know. Drop me a line. Let me know. Give me a comment. Hope you're doing okay. See some places are reopening. I don't know how it's going where you are, but we're working it out. We're working out the reopen. Let me know. Are you reopening? Have you reopened? Have you personally reopened? Or you are waiting for some people to open first, and then you will see how the reopening is going before you open. If you understand what I'm saying, I mean that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm not rushing to reopen anything, man. Don't want to reopen and then reclose like some states. Don't mean to make fun of anybody, but there were some states that were making fun of New York. Y'all believe that? They were making fun of New York, like, oh, you guys are weak. That's why you have corona. They were making fun of New York, y'all. Like, all these New York people, you are weak. That's why you have corona. That's why you're wearing masks. Now everybody's got it in the South. Like, oh snap. Oh snap. Corona is nobody's friend. Corona doesn't care if you're wearing a MAGA hat. That's what we're finding out. Corona doesn't care if you're wearing a MAGA hat. So everybody should just behave themselves. That's what Corona is saying. I'm hoping that, there are no fatalities. It's looking like, in the South, as bad as it is, it's looking like, people are not dying in the rates they were dying at the beginning of the pandemic, even though the actual, the rates are going up. The rates are going up. Hey, Isaiah, good to see you, man. Yeah, good to see you. If you're here, let me know. Drop a line. Let's talk. Today we're just talking about a few things, man. Look, my topic today is about Nigeria's reputation, Nigeria's image when it comes to this issue of fraud. And it's like, there's a lot of things going on. I don't want to dwell too much on, COVID in the South, although I'm very salty, because it could have been avoided. It could have been of all these governors that came out talking about, because they wanted to be politically aligned with the president, pretending like there's no problem in their states. And they've been lying. Last week they were saying it was Mexicans. Even states that are not anywhere near any border with Mexico are talking about Mexicans bringing in COVID. But this is what I'm trying to tell people. Like, we need to stop with the conspiracy theories and focus on healing and getting out of this. We need to stop. We're spending too much time just convincing each other that there's COVID. This is ridiculous. It's stupid. Science doesn't argue. COVID is not having a debate with you. COVID is just moving in, taking people and going. We need to stop with the arguments. We need to stop debating this. Everybody in Florida was out there in the swimming pool, living large. Liberate Florida, liberate Michigan, liberate. You've been liberated, right? You're now closing yourself down again. Is that better? When you rush to reopen, you rush to reclose. It's like a prediction. I posted this, like, if you rush to reopen, then get ready to close. What don't we understand about how this thing is working? There's a lot we don't know about it, but there's a lot we do. The things we know about COVID should guide how we behave. I don't understand people. But let me leave that. That's not really my whatever today, man. Because what is wrong with y'all? Stop pretending like you can't read, like you can't write, like you can't do math. This was bound to happen. Even New York, that did everything they could. The reopening in New York is so like quiet. We're just taking it easy. Cuomo's trying to figure out if he reopens a little bit, is it going to be like a wave? If it's not, then we open a little bit more. It's a steady reopening, a smart reopening. Now look at Florida. They're saying certain bars are getting closed. They should never have been opened first. This is math. This is math. And we're losing people because some people are just too stubborn to admit that they're wrong. But let me calm down with that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy JFK. We're in the building. Isaiah, good to see you, man. And today, like I put on my poster, today I want to talk about this issue of Nigeria's image with fraud. Of course, this is coming up because, the news is full of information about Nigerian fraudsters getting caught, and everybody knows about the hush puppy situation. The puppy has been hushed, the hush has been puppied. And now everybody's trying to figure out, even those that were his friends, that were hush puppy's friends, they're trying to create their distance, but it's a little late because everybody was on here on Instagram with him. So, you know what I mean? So, listen, do me a favor, share this video as soon as you join in. Let's get some more people on this conversation. And I really want to talk today about how we can repair the damage. We need to repair the damage. Nigeria is potentially a great nation with a lot of opportunity. Nigeria has so much potential. Everybody knows that. Everyone in the world has seen that now. Nigeria has potential, human resources potential. Tommy, what's going on? Good to see you. Nigeria has so much potential. We all know it. We all know it. Since we were children, we've known that this country named Nigeria just has so much potential. It's one of the reasons I don't want Nigeria to break up personally. I understand that it might be the only way out. And I've said the only way I would ever be on board with a Nigerian breaking up is if someone can show me how Nigeria can break up with as little bloodshed as possible. Until you have that formula, don't talk to me about Nigeria breaking up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We are not mature enough to break up without bloodshed. I'm sorry. We can't do light. We don't have roots. We want to break up. Breaking up requires a lot. Secession, if you are going to break up without blood, though, is what I'm saying, which is my preference. I don't want my family members to be sacrificed on the altar of breaking up. That's all I'm saying in Nigeria. So if we're not ready to break up, don't break up. Hey, Bolaji's in the building. What's going on? Yes, Bolaji, good to see you. So today we're really trying to go in on, Nigeria, and how do we repair this image with the fraud, with the scams. And I know you all know the story. It's heartbreaking to be in the news for terrible things, to be in the news just to be stereotyped as a nation of fraudsters. It's not good. It's not good. It's unfortunate. And we have to talk about how do we make a change. It's harder, it's easier said than done. Yeah, Tommy says, yeah, it's a mindset. But how do you even go near the mindset of people? Like last year was a lesson to me that people's minds it's not available. A lot of people's minds are not available. Thank you. There's too much damage that has been done. Too much damage has been done. I'm telling you right now. Those of us here in the US, those in the UK, all over the world, you deal with it every day. Did you know that there are job opportunities that Nigerians are qualified for, but they won't get it? There are job opportunities that Nigerians deserve, that they're qualified for, but they won't get it because of the perception that once they hear that, oh, you're Nigerian, it's a separate discussion from the normal prejudice of you being African or being black. That one is there, right? So you're already dealing with that. Like you're a black man, black woman trying to get a job, go get ahead. And then you're a Nigerian. So there's a separate category of distrust for us because of the activities of some. And I'm going to start this conversation by not denying the reality that there are people who continue to tarnish our image. And there are too many of them. There are too many people. My first job, saw me overseeing cases where Nigerians had performed some fraudulent activities, and I was a prosecutor. I was supposed to, bring justice. And it was difficult to even call myself a Nigerian when I'm prosecuting a case against Nigerians, and that's what I'm saying. Thank you. My sister's giving me some solid points. If you see the comments of people, that's where you know that there's a problem. It was the same problem that I highlighted when we were talking about rape and violence against women. For anybody to come online and comment in any positive way about rape, it blows my mind. If you could arrest people for mindset, everybody will be in jail. Because there are people online, defending the indefensible. I couldn't believe it. That's how we know. That's why you see now. For those of you who saw my show on Tuesday with my good friends, Bob, Adeomi and Liz, the international diva, and Anike. we were arguing and we were talking about going back to Nigeria, refinding our roots. America is done. America is over. We need to invest in Nigeria. We need to. And I was trying to get across now that on that show, I came across as a guy who does not like Nigeria, and I want to apologize for coming off like that because that's not true. That's not true. Like, you can. I love Nigeria because it's in the blood. It's not something you can remove. Especially when you have a guy like Trump in charge here. You remember home. When the new Pharaoh enters Egypt that does not know Joseph, the Israelites begin to cry to God for deliverance. That's how it works. So loving Nigeria is not something that can stop. You know what I'm saying? But don't tell me that you're going to go to Nigeria with your rose-colored glasses and talk about how you're just going to change things. Nigeria is a big deal to change. People have tried. People are trying. Some of us are trying. But don't ever get it twisted. The Nigerian mind, the average Nigerian mind, is not something you can just think you will change anyhow. It is the only way where someone like Buhari will still be president and Atiku will be the only option. That is the Nigerian mind. They were laughing at all the third-party candidates. They were laughing at Showore, laughing at Mogalu, laughing at all those guys. And I said at the time, people were saying, oh, these guys too are going to come and chop. Let them come and chop different chopping. Let's see what happens. Let's see. But no, Nigerians are nowhere near that. Forget the rigging of the election. There are still too many Nigerians who are enslaved to their kidnappers. That's just the reality. That's just the reality. And so there's nothing you can say. So you have to be really careful when you talk about going to Nigeria and this and that. Know what you are entering. Because like Sister Tommy is telling us right now, it's about mindset. They arrest someone for fraud. I'm talking millions of dollars of fraud. And Nigerians are out there saying, yeah, well, defending him, talking about, is this his fault? This is like, bro, this is one of the impediments to our changing this mindset. This is one of the challenges we have to our changing this mindset. If we don't even agree that crime is bad, how in the world do we change the perception? And it's important for us to change the perception. It is important for us to change in the perception because our children are growing up in this country. Those of us who are here, we're trying to still do more things in this country. So it's not a time for us to say that's how it is and there's no way out. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about this. Drop your comments. Hey, my brother Alabi, yeah, Nigeria celebrates money no matter how it is gotten. That's why some people are now trying to extricate themselves from the picture, all the pictures they've taken with Hush Puppy. You're trying to, it's too late. You celebrated him. You were part of his entourage. In many ways, you looked up to him. And I just have a basic principle. And look, this is not a self-righteous discussion. I'm no better than anybody. But I just have a few things I've learned from my parents, that I've learned from society, I've learned from being a Christian, that, bro, if I don't know where your money is coming from, I'll be careful to share with you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saint. But if I don't know where you are getting the kudi that you are sharing, I'm always careful. I'm always careful. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you a quick story about where that came from. Those of my people from boarding school will know what I'm talking about. Model College Mirror, there was an incident. I've said it before somewhere. There's an incident where some people procured some chicken. They procured a body house, so they're not supposed to have any live chicken. They found chicken. They cooked chicken. We came to the hostel. We smelled chicken because they use curry. When you do chicken, when you rub it with curry and do it, and you don't have to cook soup because the curry and the chicken, the seasoning in the chicken, the way you do it, that sauce from the chicken and the curry becomes the soup for the rice, the white rice. And so they cook the white rice in a big bucket, metal bucket. You guys know how we do it in boarding school. You understand? All I'm saying is it was beautiful. You enter the dorm and we're smelling the aroma of curry chicken in boarding house. Can you imagine? You have suffered through the school food and you are smelling fresh. Oh my goodness, I can say it now. Long story short, these guys cooked this rice with the curry chicken. It was amazing. And we came into the boarding school, into the room, everybody started smelling it. Now, by the time we found out who cooked it, you already know there's some big boys. You can't go. Not everybody can go and talk to the big boys because they will slap you. But some of us are friends with the guys. So when some of us came there, we started going and begging because, but else you beg. If your friend comes from home with conflicts, you beg. If they come and visit another friend of yours with powdered milk, you beg. That's how we survive. It's the normal thing. We went and begged them for the rice. Some people got one spoon of rice and a little piece of chicken. But that was heaven. That way we were happy. Now they were serving the chicken. Now me, I got a little bone of the chicken with the rice. Her told me, says she's cooking curry chicken tomorrow. My sister, that thing is a national treasure. Is why I don't want Nigeria to break up. Because if we break up, access to all the different cuisines might become stunted. I don't want that in my life. I digress. They cooked this curry chicken inside the house. Everything about that thing was contraband. All right, you're not supposed to cook. You're not supposed to have a boiling ring. You're not supposed to create your own meals. All that is wrong. The additional piece of the story that many of us did not bother to ask: where did the chicken come from? We did not. This is a lesson on why I don't like to share in people's money if I don't know where the money came from. It's boarding house. I learned it. I was in high school. We did not ask the pertinent question: where is the chicken coming from? And I mean, you are right. We were hungry, we were desperate. We ate chicken and curry rice. Some of us had 1 spoon. Okay, maybe because it was my friend. They gave me 2 spoons of the curry rice. It was well done. I won't mention names because my boys but they are available. The curry rice was on point. I mean, considering all the ingredients that they found, I don't know where they found it, Bunny House. They were ready. They prepared this thing. Long story short, I ate rice and a little piece of chicken that they cut for me. It was a great day. The morning of the next day, sir, the house mistress came into the dorm. Every model college member of the dorm will know this story. I will not mention any names. The house mistress came to the dorm with all the house masters and the teachers. They were banging on the boys' dormitory gates, like, open this gate. And only the thieves are here. What's going on? The whole hostel is humming a Saturday morning. Is it inspection? As our parents come to visit us. What's going on? When they opened the gate, the lady came in and started calling names. He said, Mr. You wore this. You and you come out. When time that happens in body house, there's chaos. Like, what's going on? Somebody's going to die today. Over when they line the guys up. When you're part of something, but you're not sure whether that's the thing that's been addressed. But when you start to see clues, when they line the guys up, my guy, when they began to call names, and you have begun to think, what is the thing that is common to these guys? And it begins to dawn on you that is the rice and chicken, the curry chicken. This is the curry chicken mafia that they are calling. Oh my goodness. The curry chicken mafia is being called out for punishment. You immediately begin to rack your brain and say, how did I participate in this crime? Little did we know that the source of the chicken, apparently this chicken had been preserved in the house mistress' house to be killed for her son's birthday on that Saturday. Somehow, whether the chicken came to the dorm by itself, or whether the chicken was enticed, seduced, cajoled, entrapped by the chef and the sous chef of our dormitory, we don't know. That was the next day that we found out that the chicken of which we had partaken was contraband in a different way than the normal contraband. Because we asked them, where is some of people asked, they said, oh, it's frozen chicken, a day student brought it from home. So that was good enough for us, even though they were feathers. Most frozen chickens, they've taken out the feathers, but we decided to overlook that particular detail. I wish we had it. By the time they started to punish them, then they were asking them to name names. Oh, my people. Nigeria, punishment is not something you debate. Chai, it was a table of contraband, a well-prepared curry table, curry contraband. The sweetness of the chicken, the deliciousness of the delicacy disappeared and was replaced with just certain dread that this might be the last day on earth. And for what? For curry chicken? Not just for curry chicken. For curry chicken that I got a piece of. If I had been given a drumstick, if I had consumed a fleshy part in the back, if I had been given a whole wing, and if I had been given a bowl of the curry rice, maybe I would have been able to justify the punishment I was about to face. But to suffer for 2 spoons of rice, the injustice, the indignity of it all. Needless to say, we were saved by the fact that after they beat these guys, they asked them to go and replace the chicken they stole. And so they came to those of us who had eaten and said, contribute money for us to buy another chicken for the house mistress. Otherwise, we are calling your name. Oh, if that was all I needed to pay my bill, I looked for all the money I had left and I paid. I said, please don't mention my name. I have a good reputation in this school. I don't want to be known for stealing chicken, especially when I didn't eat more than 2 spoons and a little piece. I just didn't want to be part of it. As I'm telling this story, any model college mirror boy in that time will remember this thing. It was a major issue. That is when I learned. Oh, that's my brother. I'm gonna call it. Yo, wow, oh my goodness. The house mistress, after they beat the guys, then they made them contribute to buy 2 whole chickens to replace the one that was stolen. That was the day I learned my lesson that before you stretch your hand to collect rice. Hey, Daddy Good Job is here. My father-in-law of life. That's what I learned, that in order for you to collect rice, before you stretch your hand to rice, ask the person, where did they get the rice? Where did they get the chicken? And if you are not convinced that this is legitimate rice and legitimate chicken, don't eat it. Tolu Ojoshipe is in the building. Tolu remembers. I'm telling you, my boys will know. It was a major event. The hostel was upside down. Those that were not given the rice celebrated. Those that ate the rice cried and regretted their lives. Oh my goodness. The house mistress cursed out the families of everybody that stole her chicken. Oh my goodness, be easy, man. No, modelize remember now. Is that I got over the hush puppy thing. I was not surprised. I'm telling you, if you don't know the source of the jollof rice, if you don't know the source of the chicken, the curry chicken, and you know you're in a boarding house where those things are contraband, don't stretch your hand for the 2 spoons. That was the lesson I learned. Bringing that back to our topic, Nigerians, I know it's ingrained, but at the same time, we can think. Nigerians are smart, we are sharp, and Nigerians know how to, okay, look at now that the puppy has been hushed, people are moving back and say, hush who? Puppy what? I've never met him. I don't know him. Is he a human being or a dog? People are now, that means on some level, we don't want trouble. If we don't want, let's just carry that I don't want trouble thing to the beginning of the story, not the end. Because the truth is, when a case like this blows up, everybody who had a connection with him, you have to explain yourself and say you didn't know. And depending on how close you were to him, you have to start telling people, why you're not part of it. That was my experience in model college. Like, there were always so many instances where if you are part of the team that is doing the crime, be careful when it's time to name names. They will name your name. So I started to learn how not to be involved in stuff so that they will not name my name. It's not fun. So Nigerians, we need to start changing. Let them not name our names anymore for fraud, Nigeria. I'm begging you. It's messing up futures for our children, not just abroad. That's the smaller issue. Now, Nigerians, we know this. We have people in Nigeria with incredible potential, talent, intellect, skills, gifts in Nigeria. Every full ground for Nigeria, too much. But the opportunities they could have had, both in Nigeria and abroad, they are being stunted by the general sense that there's a fraudulent nation out there, and people from that nation are fraudulent. And that's so. My question today is, how do we change this? How do we extricate our nation from this storyline? Let me give you a few statistics here. I think some people don't know what we're talking about. It's a question of the number of things that we have done to make it difficult for us to change our name. Now, on this show today, I have a legal moment coming up just before we finish, and in that legal moment, I'll be discussing, how you can expunge your criminal record. Certain criminal stories can be expunged. And it depends on what the nature of your crime was, how long ago it was, if you have been good since then. So just from my criminal law practice, it's just something I've encountered. A lot of people want to know, I've been good for a number of years. I had a misdemeanor. I had like this and that. I was charged with this. Whether or not you're guilty, but you pled guilty or you're convicted, there are some things you can do, at least in New York, depending on the nature of your crime that you had, that can help you at least seal the record so that when an employment check comes up, you don't have to disclose it, they don't have to bring it up. There are some cases in which, but I'll leave that to later. Please, stick with me if you are interested. If you want to learn about this for someone else that God forbidding that you yourself have a criminal past. If you want to learn about it, I'm gonna speak on it for about 5 minutes before we end the show. But I just want to get everybody on board with this issue. So here's the issue we're talking about. In 2019, there was a big raid, and the target was what they called a BEC target. Now, it was the FBI called it Operation Rewired. Now, as of March of 2019, Operation Rewired made a major arrest. 281 people were arrested. It was called the Business Email Compromise Scam. About $26 billion online had been lost to this scam. The sorrow of it is that all the names on that list, 281, were Nigerians, both in Nigeria and abroad. Now, you have another scam previously, the year before, of $240 million. That was a scam pulled on a Brazilian bank, and they were able to make away to $40 million, Nigerians. Since I've been in this country, in the United States, I have witnessed almost, I'd say on average, maybe twice in 3 years, an arrest, including Nigerians in bulk. Because of the nature of my job as a prosecutor, I was in the middle of investigations where Nigerians were being targeted for arrest. They did one of the biggest arrests, I think it was back in 2007, 2008. That was a big year for fraud. The FBI, the CIA, everybody, normally those guys have different jurisdictions, but on this case, there was international components and domestic components. So they placed officers in the front of the houses of about 15 Nigerians. They had planned a raid. It was a timed raid. They would go in at the same time in order to avoid people being able to call each other and say, hey, pardon me, what you want? You understand what I'm saying? You couldn't warn anybody. They broke in everybody's door at the same time. They had been trailing them. And let me tell you, Nigerians abroad, let me give you a quick tip. Let me lock the door first. Nigerians abroad. I'm going to assume I'm talking to Nigerians abroad who do not even scam in the first place. So you are not a scammer. Be careful with the spraying of the money at the party. Be careful with the spraying of the money at the party. If you want to bless the bride and groom heavy, see them after with a big envelope. Oppress them later. You see, that spraying, you don't know. Sometimes they have the undercover police officers. So they are Nigerians too sometimes. So that they can blend, with the native. They are watching you spray. Especially if they have been telling you and they are beginning to suspect you already. They follow you to places like that. And then they see, if you are spending bail upon bail, you are confirming their suspicion that your father did not give you that money. Tell me it's true. Your father is not the one that gave you this money. So sometimes they follow Nigerians from parties to their homes, and they sit on your house. They just watch your activities. So when they catch you like this, you have nowhere to go. They will list it. No, it's public information. Tell me it's public information. Public information. Everybody knows. What I'm telling, that's why I said I'm talking to Nigerians who legitimately made their money. Be careful. Don't put yourself in a trap that is not for you. That's the point. Don't forget, I'm a criminal defense attorney too. So my job is to advise people. Don't put yourself in positions. These are things that could land you in trouble and you don't even realize it. I say that because unfortunately there were too many Nigerians, particularly when I first got to this country. You see a lot of guys spraying money anyhow. And sometimes you look at them and you are jealous. You are jealous. God, why is my own like this? Why is my own like this? It's like, no. Just be happy with what you have. You will not end up in jail in Jesus' name. It's better that way. I'm telling you. They were spending money anyhow. FBI was just saying, good job. And I tell people this. The thing about America is they don't mind waiting. The American justice system is not perfect. It's not perfect. We've seen a lot of examples that with all the fights we're having and the protests, but it's a system, and it has some built-in mechanics that make it work. And that is sometimes they can wait for you. I'm saying all this so I can hopefully discourage one or two people from pursuing this line. We do not need to have any more fraud, blamed on Nigerians. Rightfully blamed too. I'm not here to pretend as though the Nigerian prince is not mainly from Nigeria. The Nigerian prince, unfortunately, the one on the email line, for the most part, is a Nigerian. Now, there are some Russians that have decided to go under Nigerian names because they realize that they will never be blamed for it. That's the unfortunate part of it. There are some scams that we are being blamed for that is not even us. But everyone has an idea that if I can just pretend that there's a Nigerian connection, then nobody has to really bother to look elsewhere. It's unfair. It's unfair. We have children growing up in this country, brilliant kids with opportunities to do well. But then the name comes up and it's a Nigerian name. And the employer has to do this, mental gymnastic of like, do I want a Nigerian? I've heard some things about them. And you're not there to argue your case. Just right off from the resume, you start losing opportunity right off your resume. It's unfair. It's unfair. So one of the things I wanted to bring up is the fact that we do not have to live like this. And like one of my sisters here is saying, it's a mindset change. Look, I said this during the riots, the protests, whenever we talk about police brutality, somebody wants to come up with, black on black crime. Like, no, a criminal will crime. I expect a criminal to crime. That's his job. That's his career. He has no obligation to me or you not to crime. The difference is when the police officer is beating me up, I have an issue because if I'm a taxpayer, I did not hire you to beat me. I hired you to serve and protect me. So when you're wailing on me, I'm a little confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bruh, don't tase me, bruh. So the same thing. I'm not really, if there's a scammer out here who is scamming, scamalizing, and scamatorizing, that might be his only way of life. So there are some unrepentant scammers. How do you tell a scammer to stop when he has just built his 7th house in his village? And all the people that said he would never amount to anything are coming to beg for bread. How do you tell him to stop scamming? There's no job, so you won't tell him. So that's a different conversation. What I'm talking about is the generality of Nigerians, the rest of us who are hoping and praying that our lives will be better and we'll get more opportunities and we'll be known for better things than scams. Those are the ones I'm talking to today. And I'm trying to get, yeah, don't tase me, bruh. Just don't tase me, man. Like, so I don't expect the scammers to stop. I'm sorry. I do trust as a believer that, sometimes God arrests the hearts and minds of people. Many of us who are believers, we were one way before. We met the Lord Jesus. We're a different way now. Glory to God. That's my hope for that. But I don't think that just merely, over here speaking, blowing grammar is going to change any scammer. If a scammer is watching by any chance right now, is laughing at me like, look at this guy. If I doesn't have a Benz, talking about those scams, where to die? And I can't fight him. I can't fight the guy. If a scammer is watching this thing now, talking about, this guy knows nothing. If I send 5,000 to him now, he will shut up. The truth is, I may not take your 5,000 because, like I said, by nature of my job and what I've learned in model college, don't take stuff like that. It is never worth it. It tastes good when you take it, and then later you want to vomit it, and it's too late. It's true. To me, it's true. Look, let me be honest with you. Am I jealous? Was I jealous of Hush Puppy before he was arrested? Even now, I'm not jealous of his arrest. I'm jealous of the cash. Can I be real with y'all? Are you kidding me? Who doesn't like to post with a new car every day? Gucci slippers, Gucci belt, Gucci underwear. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm jealous. Do you see some of the food he was eating? Do you see some of the hotels? Do you see some of the hotels he was they were giving? Oh, no, I was jealous. Many of them believe that they are using their brain. So what's the big deal? And thank you, my sister Rita. Rita said we are enablers, and I did a show about enablers before. Ibukun said that Gucci bed sheet. Yo, I don't know how many thread. They talk about the thread count of some bed sheets. Hey, Gucci bed sheet, my God. You lie down on that bed sheet. You don't want to leave your room. You know? Tommy, tell me, how much did he use to change the rim of this car? You are telling me not to be jealous. Jealousy is involved. Jealousy is involved. Because do you think I don't? Oh, please don't get me off on a tangent. Because I've been jealous of Hush Puppy. I just didn't express it online, so that way I'm safe. I didn't go online and make him my mentor. That's the only thing that was left. I was thinking about it one time, like, this guy can be your mentor. I don't know where his money is coming from. And I remember what I learned in model college. If you eat curry chicken and you don't ask where the chicken came from, the house mistress will count you among the thieves of our chicken and they will kill you. So that's why I don't normally follow that instinct. you know, it's like, and then we are finding out right now. Y'all coming in, please share this video. Let's get more people in this conversation. I'm going to be posting some of these comments on here. People can see what you're saying, because we all need to come together and figure this out. I'm coming from a selfish place. I want my kids to have a better world as Nigerians. I want my kids to have a better world as Nigerians. I want my nieces and nephews in Nigeria to have a better world. I don't want to sit back and say there's nothing we can do about it. It's too late. They already know us for this thing. In the meantime, I got my sister in the building here. My sister Okpe Olua Taylor is in the building. She's my co-host of Life. We've done some work together, and I just want to have her on. Okpe, what's going on with this?
I'm good.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Check your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Can
you hear me?
Okay. Let me. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. Listen, give me a second. I'll just do something. Make sure that the audio is a little.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I think I hear you. Oh, good. You're in here. It's good. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect.
I can hear you now. Yeah. You're good.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yes. What's going on,
I was just saying, sorry. I'm good. I was just saying that I'm sitting here. I've just been cracking up as to what you were talking about.
Oh, it's crazy.
Listen.
It's hard not to be jealous of these guys. They live in large, sis. I mean, you see the omelets they eat at these high-end hotels, man, on top of the roof. I want to eat on top of the roof of an hotel. So how do I? So let me ask you this to bring you in. How do I manage my jealousy and at the same time avoid hailing people like this? Talk to us.
So I think I think the first thing is to realize that, hard work will eventually pay off. And, don't envy what you can't verify or what you can't trace the source of. I didn't really personally follow Hush Puppy per se. So I wasn't one of his millions of followers on Instagram. So I wasn't privy to, the Gucci bed sheets and the Gucci underwear. But one of the people wrote that, we ourselves are enablers. We want to, we're loud with what we do. And so when we see someone being extra loud, it gingers us to like, oh, me too. No, but come on. What is the difference between a 1,000 count thread sheet bed sheet versus a 200 count? I mean,
but wait. I can't answer that question because I've never had the 1,000 out. I cannot imagine that there's something different about it.
I mean, what I'm saying is that it's not groundbreaking. It will not change your life. It will not change the quality of your sleep. I slept on maybe like a 700 or 800 thread counts. I can't remember. And honestly, the difference is not groundbreaking. It's not your ayamashe. No, it's not. It's not your ofada rice versus white rice. It's not. It's not.
Come on now.
You have correct ayamashe or ofada rice. It will change your life.
Everybody, wait. I'm stopping the show. You are going into a place I did not want to go, but I must enter. The kind of ayamashe you are talking about. What's involved?
So this type of ayamashe, I'm talking about obstructions in the form of pomo,
my goodness,
shaki, roundabout, abodi,
yes,
snail. I'm talking fish. I'm talking ejakika inside the ayamashe.
Woo! What are you trying to do?
I'm telling you, if you eat that type of ayamashe, and then we bring just white rice and stew, it's life changing. So the counts matter. It won't change your life if you sleep on 1,000 counts or 10,000. I don't even know how high they go. But my point is, it's neither here nor there. You know? Wow. So these things that a lot of people focus on, they just enable stupidity and just bad behavior. Wow. Like if these scammers now were legit using their brains, after you've scammed one time and you got maybe 10 million, why can't you use that 10 million to become legit and leave the scam alone? But it's greed. Greed, the money.
The
lot of money, trying to outdo yourself. You can never have too much. You can never have enough money if that's your mindset. And so here you have this guy. I mean, how much money did they say they picked from him? 40, was it 40 million?
Yeah, from just from him, yeah. But the scam itself is about 300 something million.
No, I know, but I mean, he literally physically had that much cash.
Yeah.
Like, that is insane. That is insane. It shows that as smart as you may be, you're still a common criminal.
Wow.
If you don't know what to do with money again, you're stacking millions of money in a room or in a room somewhere. Like, we need to check your brain. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And me personally, I try not to. I mean, I'm a human being, so yes, I'm gonna say envy comes here. Oh, I see that. Oh, I want to, but I'm not trying to envy you because I know nobody that spends money like that got it legitimately. Do you see Mark Zuckerberg? Do you see him in 1,000 thread count bed sheet? The guy wears the same thing.
It's the same.
Look at Jobs. Where's the same thing? If you work hard for your money, you won't spend like that. That's my take.
Let me comment on that. That's a very powerful statement because there's an insecurity, internal insecurity that causes you, even if you've made that money, but you need to show it. Like you're not complete until you oppress everybody with it. And like one of my sisters said earlier, and a couple of people have said it, this mentality to show, this desire to show is at the root of so many things.
Listen, bro, instead of unpack it, it is layered.
Yeah, it's like you're in a point where, look, we all want to look good. We all want to do this, but this, they used to call it, coming up in Nigeria, called oppression. It's not just about enjoying your money. It's about oppressing others. Yeah, pepper them. It's like if you pepper to a certain point, they will pepper you back. You know, when you hush puppy and puppy begin to hush you. And I like I said, I'll give you a quick story, and I want you to chime in on this. I handled a case once a while back where this is somebody that I'd seen around who was doing really well. When I think I just came out of law school then, so I was in the DA's office. They don't pay too well, I was struggling. So I was looking at this guy. This guy is a younger guy, doing well, got a brand new car. I was so envious, and I was talking to God. I said, God, why is my own like this? Like, I went to school, I've done law, I've read my books, and I'm here with an old car. The day the person had to come to me to help them when they were arrested for something that is horrible, like fraud related, and I had to be the lawyer. So in other words, I had access to the information of the case. I went back to God and say, God, I'm sorry for telling you to make me like so and so, because this person has been showing them pepper in America for years, and I was jealousing him, not knowing where the pepper is coming from. So like you said, so let me fast forward. What can we do? What steps can we take? I mean, we know we're talking about the mindsets of Nigerians and all of us all over the world. What are some practical things we can do to start to change the narrative? I know it's a big issue. It's not something I just talk about, but if you've ever considered, for our children, for instance, let me start with you. What are the things you think we can do? And shout out to all my people in the building. To the Amos Shabis in the house. What you saying, bruv? From the UK. You're right, mate. Everything all right? Get to see you, mate. I know, right?
our show is going. We have no excuse now. Okay.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
We are starting. The talk show we have been talking about for years.
Let's do this. So,
let's go. Yeah, go ahead.
In answer to your question, over the past couple of years, and born really out of just a mindset of I have to do better for myself and for my children. I have 3 children, and I started to look at the decisions that I make personally in my finances, and I realized that the proverbs that our grandmas and our grandpas, generations past had laid down. There was even though we're in a different world, a different era, they make sense. Be content with what you have. Cut your coat according to your cloth, not your size now. Listen, okay? You might want a 3-piece suit.
Yes.
But your cloth can only give you a waistcoat. Then you get a waistcoat with your white t-shirt under, and you call it a day.
Yes.
You can't live somebody else's life. You cannot. Everyone has a race they're running, and so with the area of finances, it's really a thing in our Nigerian community where, the minute you blow, everybody must loud it and you must show up. It's ridiculous,
Yeah.
You have a contract, you can't even keep it quiet. You have to tell everybody and don't tell this. But listen, the minute you open your mouth, you've already let it out. And once it's out, you can't grab it back. So we have to learn to live within our means.
Yes.
Within our means.
Yes.
There is a process to everything. Nobody tells you the whole story. Instagram life is not life. Instagram life is a few filters and a good camera.
Say that again. You need to say that again. Say that again, please.
A few filters and a good camera. And people look at it and they're like, oh my God, my marriage is a mess. Look at these people. They're happy. Listen, I've been married almost 10 years now. Not every day are we puppy loving. Come on,
what are you not talking?
So the point I'm making is that we have to realize that social media is just a tool, and we are just allowing ourselves to be swept by it. This big thing now that Nigerians are doing is these lavish, extravagant, ostentatious weddings. That's bro, people live in an apartment and they spend 40,000 on a wedding.
The apartment is not important.
40K? You can buy a property in some part of America, upstate New York. So we live in New York. You can buy a property in upstate New York, like Rochester, like Syracuse, for 40K.
Buffalo.
Cash.
The entire building.
Property owner. And you're here spending 40, 50K on a wedding. I got an argument one time with some people and they were talking about, no, we have to spend it. And I'm like, oh, my mother says we have to do it. I'm like, you have to have sensible conversations. As a thinking person, you're educated. Think about it. What is the legacy you want to leave for your family? Do you want to be perpetually in debt? Because the borrower will forever be a slave to the lender. Forever. You cannot come up with it if you cannot live between your means. I talk about budgeting and people are like, oh, what is that? No, if you spend more money than you bring in,
it doesn't work.
You're in debt and you are just a few steps away from homelessness.
Yes.
Because if anything, COVID taught us that, nothing is guaranteed. I mean, we knew that before, right? That nothing is guaranteed. We, as believers, you and I, we have an assurance and we pray for God's grace to keep us and give us life. But nothing is guaranteed. You can lose your job the next day. People have no savings.
Wow.
They get a job. You graduate from nursing school. Yes, we know that's a moneymaker here in America.
Yeah.
And the first thing you're buying is a brand new car. First of all.
Yeah, but they must know now. But how will they know if I don't? We live back in the new whip. How will they know? One hand.
I'm very proud to tell you I drive a 2007 car, and me and my car, we ride until them wheels fall off. You know why? You know,
talk to me.
Because a car is just a tool to get from point A to point B.
Wow. Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
Worth.
Okay.
Does not give me happiness.
Yeah.
The car.
Yeah.
The car does not bring me peace and joy.
There you go.
The car does not fulfill me. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Good.
I got disconnected. I can hear you. 1 second.
Okay, I can hear you.
Bro,
yeah, I can hear you.
Me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you, though.
Oh,
I can't hear you.
Check on your side.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Let me
Technical difficulties, people.
Let me bring you out and bring you back in, and then we'll see.
I apologize. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up and I'll keep going. Okay. Yeah. The car does not bring you peace and joy. The car does not comfort you at night. Yes. You know, a few years ago, the Cadillac was selling for like 50 grand.
Yeah.
The Cadillac. Now, you drive that car off the lot, you've lost value in it. But people spend their life saving on a car. What return? It does not give you any return. You cannot, it will be very hard for you to generate profit from the purchase of a car if you buy a brand new car. Wow. Once you buy it, the value is going down. The minute you drive it off that lot, if you take it back, it's no longer a brand new car.
Wow.
You know, I listened to a guy called Dave Ramsey, and one of the things he says is that nobody has any business buying a brand new car unless they're a millionaire. Millionaire in assets.
Wow.
I listened to Tiffany, the Budgetnisa Alish. Tiffany is a millionaire with assets. Tiffany does not drive a brand new car. Who are you? Why is it that we feel that because I work here, because
Oh, I'm gonna get you. Okay. I'm gonna get you back on because that got frozen. Wow, she was dropping gems. Okay, I think we're back on. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Can you hear me now?
It's a complete change of mindset, and if we don't start to make practical moves, you know, my new venture is a financial education called Make Money Moves, and part of what I'm going to be doing is trying to unpack all of these nonsense that we have put in our brains and assume that this is what shows you someone who has made it. A big house does not equal a happy family. A big car does not equal peace and contentment. Rather, it just puts you on the map for people who are trying to defraud you or people who are trying to steal from you. You know, I'm not saying people are not genuinely wealthy. And if you're genuinely wealthy and you have it, then go ahead. But I'm saying, and this mentality is what is disturbing a lot of these people that can't. This mentality is what's making a lot of people think that, you know what, I'm not going to work hard. I'm going to just go and scam and steal from other people. Like, how do you steal so much money and you cannot? It just shows that your mind is not right. It just shows that your mind is not right, because this is not the first time. He's been stealing and stealing.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. Okay, I'm not even about to call it a scamming. No, it's a thief. Period. Point blank exclamation.
Yes.
A thief is what he is. And so until we start to deglamorize, I don't even know if that's a real word.
I like that.
But deglamorize stealing, we're gonna have a problem. You know, people come to America and they work hard, they hustle and just send the money back home. I've heard so many cases of people sending money back home. They want to build a big mansion in Nigeria and so that people can know that they have arrived. Meanwhile, this person lives in a basement here in America. Meanwhile, this person is squatting in a room having a 5-bedroom mansion in the middle of Ibadan. Like, what you talking about, bro? What you talking about? Like, seriously? Who are you showing up for? Like, your real life is the life you're living. You cannot be living a life across the country or across in Nigeria and fronting.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna come in.
Our minds need to change.
I'm gonna come in.
Our mindset needs to change.
Let me know if you can hear me. You can hear me. So here's the other thing. I'm probably gonna type in the next question. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If you can hear me at all. So I know that there's a lag on the sound. But I wanted to jump in on something that you said. Yeah, give me a thumbs up once you can hear me. Sis, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs. Good. So I want to jump on something you said, and you're talking about how you are working on some things in terms of financial preparation for people. And I think the disconnect continues to be that the time it takes to build wealth is sometimes too long. And like you said, there's a process, but it's a mindset that lets you know that it's okay that there be a process. It's okay to have a process. So, but for most people, if you're in a, and that's why I wanted to put up my brother Tunde Omoshebi's point that you said something. If you can afford it and you live it, there are no problems.
No.
But if the show off is the point, which is what I think the challenge with our I wouldn't want to call it culture, but we do have a knack. Even as children, in school, in boarding school, if one of you travels out and or your parent comes from abroad and they give you something, you have the new math set from the UK, you are the biggest boy in town. Like you just, that's when you get a new watch and you start asking for directions with the watch for no reason. We grew up like that. Like, my guy, do you know I can get to the booker? You make sure they see that joy. Christmas clothes. When they give you your Christmas clothes, hey, you can't wait to go out. So the show up thing it's like it takes growing up and by God's grace as a believer, reading the Bible, learning humility that makes you tone it down. And the thing about it is like the more you show off, sometimes the more you have to show off more. It's like you said with the fake life on Instagram. Yeah. I gotta keep it up. If I'm showing people that I'm doing well abroad, then I cannot have any Instagram picture of me struggling. So how do I keep that going? And the fake life, the fake online life for me is just a joke. It's like you said, if you see a couple on Instagram or Facebook looking like they are the best, happiest couple, look at them, they are so cute.
They don't fight.
Go. The moment you are watching that picture, that's a picture from last week. The current situation in that house is not tenable. But you don't know.
You're right.
So
you're right.
I say like contentment. What I'm getting from you, contentment. Better financial management so that you can actually give yourself, a better situation. You may not need to divert yourself into illegal activities. That's a major thing. Yeah. And someone also mentioned that parenting too. In other words, we are raising another generation of Nigerians. So how do we get our children to realize that the next Jordans, the next Game Boy, the next is not worth involving yourself in any illegal activity and stuff like that. How do you go about doing that?
Can you hear me good?
Yes.
Okay. So, like I mentioned, I have 3 children and my last is actually wailing and crying because I had them stay in their bedroom because I knew I needed peace and quiet. But the thing is,
I'll let you go soon so you can handle them because I don't want them to soon. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me just make this point. For me personally, I believe that you need what you need, and then if you want something, if it's available, then you can get it. I don't believe that I need to put Jordans or Louboutins on my feet in order to arrive or show that I'm valued. That's not where I derive my value from. Our value system is very flawed. When you have to put, the label of your outfit, everybody has to see that it's brand new. Do you know people go and shop for clothes and then they go and return it they put it on, take pictures and everything, and then they send it back because they can't really afford it? Like what? Anyway, my point is, my kids, my son especially, likes this and likes that. And I tell him point blank and simple, this is not in our budget. Our budget is for things that we need. And my daughter, actually, she's 6. She wrote over the summer with this COVID stuff, I started teaching them how to type on the computer and how to use the computer properly. And so they were typing in Microsoft Word and all of that. And so she typed up, I said, okay, for your project, just go and type up a story, your life story so far, or what your day is going like. And she says, oh, we're on a budget, and my mommy won't let me get this, and my mommy won't let me get that. And so I read it and I bust out laughing. But I'm like, listen, it is what it is. We are on a budget. We are buying things that we need. Things that we want can be bought if we already have taken care of our needs. And so it starts from now. She's 6. She's 6 learning that, listen, it's not everything I want that I need to buy. It's not everything I want that I need to have. Just because I want a Lamborghini doesn't mean I need one. First of all, where am I going with my 3 kids if I'm driving around a Lambo?
Nah,
my daughter won't fit.
They stay home.
So, but my point is, if you're not modeling for your kids, they not just talking, you have to actually model. And so they see that mommy's not out there every day shopping. Mommy's not buying all this unnecessary stuff. They see that the values that we have don't come from the things that we have. I say it's okay to look good. Listen, if you wash your clothes properly and you iron it, don't nobody have the right to tell you nothing. Nobody has the right to tell you nothing.
Let me jump in. I'm going to be releasing you soon. I just want to read this comment. I think it's only going to be person that feel oppressed when they see another person showing off. Why I feel oppressed? I believe it cut your code according to your size, way of life, but I won't fault anyone for showing off. And I think that's the point. Like the issue is this: showing off when you can afford it. It's a question of this: what is it about your mindset that requires you to show off? Then the next question is: what if a time comes when you cannot afford what you were showing off with? Are you not setting yourself up to be the kind of person that you have to make it at all means? So you're now keeping up with the Joneses because you've made showing off part of your persona. And so it's not that showing off is bad. It's not so much about the person you're oppressing. It's about you yourself, because you've set a standard. You set a standard where, and again, we're talking about people who can't even, who maybe, because if you have to steal to afford what you are showing off, that means you can't afford it. Yeah, if you have to steal, that means you didn't have that. You still, it's a deficit to you. It's a debt. It's a debt. Everything you are showing off is borrowed. And when the FBI and Interpol decide that they want to take it back, the whole world will see when they are repossessing your life. They repossess your shoe. They repossess your T-shirt. And so that's an issue. Yeah.
I looked up the word show off on Google. You know me, Google is my friend. Me and Google are tight.
Your head is there.
So it says a person who acts pretentiously or who publicly parades themselves, their possessions, or their accomplishments. And then some similar words are exhibitionist, poser, peacock. None of them sound like things that I would want to be like.
Right.
To me. Right. And I can only speak for myself and what I know. It doesn't. To me, when you behave like a show off, you're pretentious about something, putting on an act, you're giving yourself airs. Yeah. The Bible says the pride goes before a fall. By the time you're stretching your shoulder back to show everybody what you have and what you don't have, the gutter that you will fall inside is not too far in front of you. So I'm very, very, very leery of people who just want to show me. Like, why it speaks to maybe the way they were raised. Maybe they didn't have anything growing up. Maybe they had one clothes and they got bullied when they were growing up. So now that they have something,
they try to cover up with that.
Yeah, and it speaks to that, means that there's some unresolved issues that the 6-year-old you or the 9-year-old you or the 12-year-old you needs to resolve, because those. No,
that means that you probably need to see a therapist to work out.
Absolutely.
let me interrupt you to say this. Everybody, thank you. So you guys having a great conversation online right now. The chats are crazy. Tunde, I'm feeling you from the UK over there. Yeah, listen, please share this video. Share. Let's connect some people. I know that people just came in are throwing bombs. And we need to talk about the fact that this topic is designed so that we can have this conversation about how do we change the narrative. I'm tired of people hearing that I'm from Nigeria and immediately having to decipher whether or not am I the kind of Nigerian that will scam them. I mean, there's so many aspects to it. I mean, I've always been one to say, for instance, some of the victims of the scam themselves, which goes to a bit to what Tunde Omoshebi is saying. Some of the victims of the scam themselves, you're like, what is your problem? You know, you get an email from somebody you don't know saying that your uncle that you never met left 5 million naira for you in Nigeria where you have never been. And all you have to do is send $10,000 to process. And somehow the greed in your spirit overtakes the brain in your head. And you say, let's do it. A victim of that kind of a scam needs to be arrested along with the scammer just to teach them a lesson. Because it's like, it is the greed of the victim.
That caught you now.
The greed of the victim is attracted, you know, game recognized game. The greed of the victim is attracted to the greed of the scammer. So I do look like there are a lot of things that, you know, people do that they shouldn't, and it makes them victims of scams. But the truth is, when we have scams on the level that we are discussing, organized, where they are arresting 200, 300 in multinational, multi-billion dollar, multi-billion naira, multi-seasonal, you know, it has become an industry, and that industry is doing havoc. We have enough problems as Nigerians, internal and external, because of so many things in our history and things we deal with. We don't need this additional stigma, you know, and that's why I look at it and I say, look, if we get to a point where we are raising a new generation, we need to start imbibing in that generation a new outlook. One of the other things I wanted to touch on is that we have so many Nigerians doing good things in the world, positive things. I mean, I don't have time today. I did go through pull out a list of Nigerians all over the world in the field of athletics, in the art field, in sciences, you know, whatever, entertainment, whatever. There are Nigerians at top levels all over the world. I still talked to my kids last week as the school was winding up about, you know, really staying on their grades, because we have almost every year, you know, if not for this COVID, even with this COVID thing, you have kids graduating from high school of Nigerian descent, Ghanaian descent, African descent generally, who, you know, are born to African parents, first generation Americans, but who are Nigerians, and they are getting admitted to all the Ivies. You know, they are getting scholarships. It became like a tradition that it's going to be a Nigerian or a Ghanaian kid, at least in the New York area, that's going to get that honor. So the potential for us to have a good name is there, you know. It's just like, how do we need to, as you are saying, we need to loud that part a little more. We need to loud that Nigerians are doing well, and we need to, but it is hard to overcome the noise of a hush puppy arrest in Dubai, where everybody has already seen him as a celebrity. So, but we need to I think we just need to share more information and celebrate more the ones that are doing well legitimately, that we can say, this is how he made his money, this is how she came about her success, these are the books she has written for her to be called an author, you know, where you can trace it, you know, so that we can, people are doing, we can loud this. Go ahead, give me your last word, and also tell us some of the things you are doing and how we can get you, because you are helping people with finances before I release you, and then so you can go and attend to these babies over there, because I know they will come and challenge me. So tell us a few things. Yeah.
Okay. So, so the first point first point about, you know, what Nigerians can do and how, you know, all these hush puppies of this age are affecting our reputation and preceding us before you even speak. When they already look at your name, background, they know you're Nigerian, yes. and that's, they're judging you. You know, there's nothing that we can do about those type of prejudices, unfortunately. Yes. So what I say is, I always look at, what can I do? Me, myself. I cannot control what you will do. I cannot control what you will interpret. I cannot control your mindset, but I will, you know, where I'm supposed to be, I'll get there. And what I'm going to do and achieve, I will achieve it because I'll put in the work to achieve it. And so my thing is, like you did with your kids and I do with mine, is I tell them, you know, I want you to do well. I want you to succeed. I want you to be the best. You know, Adolf Hitler from Germany, you know, the leader of the Nazi party, did all that he did. But that does not mean that when you see a German, you will now say, oh, you'll judge the German based on what Hitler did.
Right.
And so, and even if someone judges based on what Hitler did, that there's nothing that the person, that's the judgee now, there's nothing that they can do if you're being judged on what Hush Puppy did. I'm not Hush Puppy. I'm not related to him. I'm going to do my best in whatever industry I find myself in. I'm going to put in the work and the results will show. You know, there's so many Nigerians who are doing great things. I saw a poster the other day of how 97 African Americans, 97 people graduated from Harvard in the medical program, and out of the 97, I think 40 something, maybe 45 or thereabout. Don't quote me now. We're Nigerian. So let's keep doing the best that we can. Let's not allow the hush puppies of this world to put a damper or put a veil over our accomplishments. Let's laud them, let's celebrate them, and let's keep doing the best we can. Let's make sure that we're raising our next generation to know that they can do anything they put their mind to. And it doesn't matter that you're Nigerian. It doesn't matter what people say. You know, even my son, he's 8. He was telling me the other day that, oh, you know, this kid doesn't play with me because I'm Nigerian. And I'm like, excuse you? Bro, to the left, next. And I'm telling him, don't. He's not, it's his loss, because you are a smart, intelligent boy, and he will one day wish that he was your friend. You don't beg around for friends. You don't beg around for likes. I'm telling you now, I love you as your mother, and I know you are a great kid. You will be a great boy, and you will be a great young man when the time comes. So as we raise them, we have to reinforce the values that we want to see in them. You know, we cannot, I mean, I named my kids these very conk Yoruba names because our last name is Taylor. I did, you know, but I wanted to make sure that, you know, they're proud of their heritage. You know, my name is Opeoluwa Taylor. I'm proud of where I come from. Anytime you see my name, Opeoluwa Taylor, you know I'm Nigerian. And I named my kids conk Yoruba names, so you know they're Nigerian, because I don't want it to be lost. And he came to me one time, he's like, oh, he wants to go by his middle name. I'm like, no, boy, your name is this, Taylor. You cannot.
What about the ladies?
No, bro. Listen, who is going to love you is going to love you. Not because of your name, not because of where you're from. You know, you don't need the next person to approve you. They don't give you value. Your value comes from who you are. And who are you? I tell them I'm a child of God. I can do things through Christ who strengthens me. I tell them, say it after me. I don't need anybody's approval or stamp. I have the approval of God, and God loves you. If we have to reinforce the values that we want to see, and trust me, the hush puppies of this world versus the hardworking, diligent Nigerians, the percentage is low.
There's more of us.
Yes, there's more of us good, hardworking people. And so let's just keep doing what we do. Let's just keep reinforcing who we are as a people.
Yes.
We're strong, hardworking, loving, charismatic. I mean, we are loud. We loud it everywhere we And so let's just keep doing the best that we can. Folks, you can find me on Facebook here or Instagram. My new venture, like I talked about earlier, is about financial education and financial reform, and what we can do with regards to our personal finances. You know, it came out of my own personal experiences, but also because just 10, 11 years ago, when the recession happened, advising people. I remember I was working as a credit counselor. I remember I had a client on the phone. Both were, one was an attorney, and they had a BMW and a this and a that. These people were living the life. Recession happened. They had nothing to fall back on.
Wow.
Zero savings.
Wow.
After I had that phone conversation, I went and cried because I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I literally told them, I said, you need to return the BMW. They were leasing. By the way, lease, don't lease. If you must live large, buy a car, buy cash, buy cash. Otherwise, you just give some money away. And so my point was that day was that I was telling this lawyer, and I can't remember what the profession of the other spouse was, but I was telling them to go and file bankruptcy and giving them the information on food stamps and all of that. This is to tell you that if you don't make the changes that we need in our finances and start to have a savings culture, listen, I got to Yoruba it up in here. I got to put her on my back. But we don't make those changes, we will have, our children and our children's children will not be happy with us. We have to put together a savings culture, putting back. Not every last dime must you spend. You must not drink away your salary. You must not,
we need to have a special session on finances. You are coming for that one.
Okay.
Because
all right.
First of all, this is probably the most adorable moment of the entire show. You have a special guest. She's like, I don't care what you are streaming. I don't care what video you are doing. What's going on, young man? These are the ones we are talking about that will change everything for us. What's going on, young man? How you doing? How you doing?
Good.
Yes, oh, these are the Taylors, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, that school is over, right? You guys happy about that?
Yes, kind of.
I know you are. I know you are. How you doing, young lady? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Have you finished all the food in the house?
But you're gonna be streamed live on TV.
Have you finished all the food in the house yet, or do you still have food in the house? You don't know. Listen, I'm gonna say bye to you guys. I'm about to round up the show, but it was good to see you guys. And listen, man, we're gonna talk soon. We're gonna talk soon. You guys are adorable. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
You'll be great in Jesus'
Amen.
name.
Amen. Thank you, JFK. This was fun.
You're the best. We'll talk soon.
This was fun.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, look at this, man. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. All right. Listen, I mean, you guys are too much, man. Yeah, man. So we've been talking up with Sister Okwe Taylor, and like I said, I'll put our information up. We just want to talk about, let's change the narrative. Nigeria, we have better stories. A lot of hardworking people in music, in art, in business, whatever you want to talk about. We are blessed as a nation. We are blessed. The same things sometimes that give us trouble are the same things that make us wonderful. We are all kinds of tribes and ethnicities mixed together, and it gives us tension sometimes. But it also produces the beauty that we have, the variety, the diversity, and that's why I was saying like a well-prepared ayamashi stew, the pomo and the shaki and the panla sometimes with their body. They are conjoined and they mesh together on a bed of a peppery sauce designed and seasoned to tantalize. And when you see that mix, you would say these are not necessarily compatible bedfellows. But when they come together in this stew called ayamashi, this wonderful miracle of culinary art, this thing that I have not yet understood where it came from, this ayamashi stew, is a phenomenon. It's a conundrum wrapped in an enigma, served on a bed of roses, this ayamashi stew. And so when I see something like that, it's a metaphor for the beauty in our diversity. And I'm hoping that we can highlight, come on, somebody. I'm hoping that we can highlight and make noise about the positives that come out of our union. Come on now, because we've been blessed. We're highly favored in our intellect, in our mindset, in our ability to endure struggle. Nobody does it better than in Nigeria. We are the ones that will vote for the same people that are enslaving us because we can handle it. We are good with this. If we suffer, we smile, and we suffer. It's a gift. Not everybody can do it. Some nations have blown apart with less struggle.
but the key is to take this gift, these abilities. Nigerians have superpowers. How else can some kids in Lagos scam an entire department in America for checks? How else can a young boy, a young girl, somewhere in Enugu convince multiple Americans to send money to him or to her without ever seeing him? It's a gift. Not everybody can do it. Do you know how much focus it takes? Dexterity, determination. But what we're saying is, can we take that gifting, turn it around, and just focus it on the positives? The kind of wealth that no one can take from you, the kind of wealth that you'll be proud to enjoy. As Brother Tunde was saying, if you are blessed, enjoying your blessing is not a problem. You see, as long as it's you, Where they said they use Ishuju, the kind of Ishuju, I believe that's what you call it, Ishuju. It's like a veil. The kind of Ishuju it requires to scam multiple people. Some of these scammers are scamming 10, 15 Mugus at the same time, 10 Magas at the same time. You're juggling a lot, All I'm asking is that to some of my scammers, can you transform that gift? Let's start legitimate businesses. Let's stop with the defaming of the nation. Because every time they arrest 100 of you, 200 of you, you're making it difficult for millions of people. So that's my appeal to them. And to the rest of us, I say, let us try to just not empower these people by hailing them or praising them. Let's begin to reel that back. Maybe with the hush puppy situation, because of how prominent it is, we'll start to revisit the idea that if you don't know the source of someone's wealth, be careful about partaking in it, about praising it, about rejoicing in it. Let that just be let that be a principle. If I don't know where this money is coming from, I'm not going to partake. So I mean, we didn't touch on everything today. I had examples of Nigerians who are doing great things, Nobel laureates. I've looked at, there's a list of about 50 Nigerian-born actors all around the world, Europe, and the US, doing great things. That people I didn't even know were of Nigerian descent, that were born and raised in Nigeria and then moved over here. Same thing in the medical field. My goodness, surgeons, top surgeons, medical directors who are Nigerians. I know personally some people who are medical directors of multiple facilities, Nigerians. We're doing great things. We're doing great work. And we're trying to see if we can make that let that be the story instead of the fraud, and that's my desire. That's my hope. Before I go, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you that legal moment I promised. I want to let you know that if you have a criminal record, you are not all the way out of luck. A lot of things can come in for you to help you. So if you have a criminal record, especially if it's if you have 2 misdemeanors over the past 10 years, it's been 10 years that you've had that conviction, or maybe it could be a felony, one felony, and it's been 10 years since you had that conviction. There is a provision, at least under New York law, where you can actually have that sealed. In other words, you could have it so that whenever you're filling out an application, you won't have to disclose that. You'll not be held accountable for disclosing that particular offense. And the other thing about that is that there are some categories of crimes that are automatically expunged, especially with the new the changes to the law with regards to marijuana and possession of marijuana. So for instance, if you are someone who was convicted of a crime and it was based on a condition that you would fulfill a certain requirement, drug treatment program, anger management program, additional driving school, whatever it is that you were told to do, if you join AA, join a group, get therapy, whatever you do, the court mandated you to do. If there's a condition, if that was a condition attached to your conviction, in other words, if you do the treatment, you're supposed to be done. You don't have to do you can have the conviction removed. Also, if you were juvenile at the time of your crime, automatically it's supposed to be something that cannot be seen by anyone in the future. It should be sealed, automatically sealed. If you're a youthful offender, there's a youthful offender status where you have a case in which it's not fully a juvenile case, but maybe your attorney was able to fight for youthful offender status for you. In that case, your record will be automatically expunged.
Now, for those, when I say automatically expunged, that's the way it should work. But I advise you to check and make sure that that record is expunged, because there are mistakes in the system where the youthful offender status case it's supposed not to be seen by anybody after that. You apply for a job, even the employers are not even supposed to see that. Sometimes there are loopholes and your name comes up, stuff like that. You need to check. You are entitled to an expungement, but you need to confirm that the expungement has taken place. I've told a lot of my clients violations of 24020, disorderly conduct. If you're talking about infractions, traffic infractions, most of those things automatically are not even supposed to be crimes when you plead guilty to them. They're giving to you as an option, as not pleading guilty to a crime. You're pleading to a violation, or you're convicted of a violation. Stuff like that is not should not be on your record, point blank, expunged. Now, the second category is those who pled guilty or found guilty or convicted of actual crimes. If you have 2 misdemeanors at the most that you've had in the last, if it's in 10 years since your last conviction, and maybe you can expunge or seal up to 2 misdemeanors. If it's a felony, the same 10-year time period, you can go back and and do that. A car ticket, should not even show up at all. You just go ahead and pay your ticket. But it's not even so. Like I say, even a moving violation, if it's a violation, it's not treated as a crime. It should be off your record. If you're in drug treatments, sometimes you can go back after you finish the drug program and apply to have your record expunged, and there's a process for that. Also, if you are somebody who was arrested for possession of marijuana, 25 grams or less, before 2019, August of 2019, I believe it was, you are entitled to have that expunged because of the changes in the law they made. Some of that expungement retroactive. So your record should be clean from that marijuana arrest or conviction from prior to that period. And going forward, marijuana arrest, possession, most of those cases are not considered crimes. And you used to have the ACD where it gets dismissed right at arraignment. That's something that a lawyer can ask for. But these days, you don't even get an actual conviction. It's treated as a violation, depending on. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're over here, if you're a dealer, if you're selling marijuana, bro, you're going to jail. Unless you get a good lawyer, and unless they set you up, But if you just possession 25 grams or less, then it shouldn't be on your record. And when your record is sealed, it means that for the most part, the future employer is not able to see it. Now, this does not cover you in most cases for immigration purposes, because this is state law. ICE sometimes is able to get their hands on your criminal record, even though it's been sealed in the state. Now, pay attention to that, because immigration cases sometimes turn on whether or not you have convictions, and some of these convictions can still be brought up. So the advice is to make sure that you get them sealed and expunged. At the same time, obviously, stay away from trouble. Again, the 10-year period gives you the option so that you don't get arrested, don't get convicted. Then you can go ahead and apply for the expungement and the sealing of those criminal records. Like I said, 2 misdemeanors or a felony, you can go back and get that sealed, so that when a search is done on your name, there'll be no criminal history to tie to your name. All right. You have any more questions on that, you can inbox me, and I could guide you through a few of those things. Some of those situations require you to apply. There's certain certificates you need to get of good standing, and that would help you so that in future you can block any attempt to use your record against you. All right. So that's my legal moment for today. But ladies and gentlemen, please share if you can. Connect people with this video. I want to appreciate everybody that's been online with me all day. You guys are amazing. To my guest, Okwe Taylor, I can't believe it. I gave her a call short notice, and she stepped up. IBK, Isaiah, my people, Coyote, man. Coyote, I think this time is good because I get to have you on, so you're good. Olori, K Pompey. You're the best, man. I love how you coming in and giving us all the input. All my people, man, I just want to thank you for being here. Like I said, we're trying to build a YouTube channel too. So if you get a chance, go on YouTube, go on the YouTube link, and subscribe, like it, push it. I'm still trying to work on when I'll be ready to move to YouTube fully. But we're just having fun. We're having a good time. So in the meantime, continue to eat your jollof, Don't bond the suya. And I'm gonna catch you later. It's your boy JFK, man. We're out here, man. Nigeria will be great. Nigeria is potentially great. You know, America will be great at some point. And they stop, you know, us. Did I say that? What's up, man? Yo, it's your boy JFK, you know, and I'm gonna catch you soon. We're gonna try to keep this time, you know, open it up for more people. My UK people, my Niger people can fall in anyhow. I appreciate you guys. All right, thank you so much, man. Peace out. Stay blessed. One.